Perennial Conference USA contenders clashing in Birmingham, Alabama as UAB hosts the preseason favorites from Western Kentucky. It's the defensive-minded Blazers and the high-flying Toppers next on Stadium College Basketball. The sun has set on a 60-degree day here in Birmingham, where UAB is ready for some home cooking after dropping their first two CUSA games on the road. Western Kentucky getting ready for its first conference road game after a 2-0 start at home. With Tim Scarborough, I'm Chris Hassel. And Tim, difficult situations for both of these teams because each team lost its best player this season. Zach Bryant dismissed by UAB. Charles Bassey in December hurt his leg. He's out for the season for Western Kentucky.
And anytime you take out leading scorers, leading rebounders, it's going to have a negative impact on your team. Now, UAB has had a little bit more time to adjust because Scooty Bryant was out after Game 3. They've actually been able to put together a nice winning streak until recently when they went on the road and lost two. But Western on the other side is still really trying to figure things out after losing Charles Bassey. Now, I think they have maybe righted the ship, winning 2 games at home, but we'll have to see if what they did last week in Bowling Green can travel.
This will be their 5th game without Charles Bassey. They are 2-2 since his injury. Our players to watch begin with the Western Kentucky Hilltopper, and these guys have to step up big time in Bassey's absence, beginning with Tavion Hollingsworth.
Yeah, but we know what Tavion can do. He's preseason all-conference in his own right. He's not a great three-point shooter. You saw him stroke that one, but what he does is deliver the package at the doorstep time and time again, and then he has an array of moves. No 2 shots look the same coming from Tavion. He can be electric at times.
And Carson Williams has really stepped up in Bassey's absence. He's averaging 19 and 9 since Bassey went out.
But don't get it twisted. He's not Charles Bassey. He's not pretending to be. He's only 6'5", can go in the post like we see there, but his game is stroking it from downtown. As you mentioned, he's been scoring a lot of points of late, and he'll run you down and block shots, and that's at the end of the court where Western has really improved. Defensively, they are really taking care of it on offense and holding people to under amount of points that they were holding them to. So as a result, they've been able to piece together a nice couple of wins.
On the UAB side, because Zach Bryant has been dismissed, they are leaning on a true freshman to run the point, leads the team in scoring. Jalen Benjamin looks very young. He's very raw, but very good.
You're right, and he's a score-first point guard, has a scorer's mentality. He'll let it fly a lot more than he'll deliver, but there you see, he can put it right where it needs to be, but when he has that pick and roll going, he can be dynamite at times, but they'll need him to take care of the ball. He almost has twice as many turnovers as assists, but again, he's a scorer, not a distributor.
And we love ourselves some Taven Lovin, the sophomore from Franklin, Kentucky, averaging just under 11 points per game. He is a fun player to watch.
And what's not to love about Taven? He is a terrific slasher, getting to the rim. Doesn't really look to shoot it from downtown. When he catches it on the perimeter, he is a truck going to the bucket. Get out of the way.
We're ready to go, folks. That's Blaze the Dragon. He's ready for tip. Got to pay a couple bills, and then we will tip it next here on Stadium as Western Kentucky takes on UAB. Oh, it's a beautiful day here in Birmingham, Alabama, the biggest city in the state of Alabama. The Blazers really happy to be home after losing both of their road games to start conference play. Western Kentucky, the preseason favorites in Conference USA, but they no longer have Charles Bassey. And as we look at the starting lineups, they don't have Cameron Justice in the starting lineup in this game, Tim, averaging 13 points per game. We were told he suffered a back injury. He is available, but they don't know if he's going to play. That means Jordan Rawls steps into the starting rotation.
You know, the mentality in the NFL is next man up. They're running out of men right now. They need to have bodies. It's probably difficult to practice, I would imagine, with so many injuries. But yet, Coach Stansbury getting it done. I still think they have a chance to win this conference.
Absolutely. Off to a good start. Coach Stansbury in his 4th season as the head coach of Western Kentucky. They've lost to the championship game each of the last 2 years. Robert Eason, also in his 4th season as the UAB head coach. And Western Kentucky breaking out some brand new black uniforms in this one. It's their first alternate uniform in about 4 years for the 41st meeting all time. UAB leads the series, a series that began in 1981 with an NCAA tournament game right here in Alabama, a game that UAB won. And there's Jordan Rawls' first career start. He was the CUSA Freshman of the Week back in November.
So a couple of freshman point guards going at it. We'll see this for the next few years in Conference USA. A couple of good ones, too.
And this is Jalen Benjamin, the freshman point guard from Raleigh, North Carolina, leading the team in scoring. Mac Targay, numbers down a little bit from last season. They thought he might break out this year. It just hasn't happened. One of the reasons why is Zach Bryant could give him some easy looks at the basket. They just don't have that creator like Bryant was.
Yeah, we mentioned Benjamin as a shoot-first point guard. Not a lot of guys out there capable of creating shots for Gay, so he's had to do it on his own. But you see already they've gotten him a couple of shots early.
That's a wide open look.
Yeah, able to cash it in.
Under 25% from three-point range, but if you leave him that wide open, he'll make more than he misses. 3-0 UAB. As Western tries to answer with a three. Williams, a strong one-handed rebound.
That was a grown man rebound. Who needs Charles Bassey?
A head fake by Tavion Hollingsworth. Almost gets tied up. And now here's Williams facing. And now backing down to Mel Pearson. That's a tough shot. And they get an over-the-back foul on Jared Savage.
Western fans will maybe have to do a double take with Jared Savage. He's gotten a haircut. Looks a little different now. Number 2 for Western Kentucky. But already you see Western extending their defense. This has been pretty good to them. A 1-2-2, 3-quarter court. This is almost a full court. It's not really a trap, but they want you to take time to bring it up, and then they fall back into a zone most times. But here, it's a man-to-man.
We saw UAB work on this in the shoot-around, and a lot of times they were looking to score off that press break. Didn't look to do it that time as Gay misses short.
And it's not easy to score on it because they're not really trapping, so they have all their assignments. There's no odd man potential, odd man rush because of that. And it's a very nice token pressure that has been deployed by Western that has been effective.
Josh Anderson too strong on that jumper.
It really got them back into that North Texas game last week, their first conference home game. They overcame a 15-point deficit.
Tyreek Scott Grayson, the lefty, missing on a three-point attempt. Both teams cold to start. Another miss, and that'll be a jump ball. And good position by Williams. He was in the right spot. And could have got an over-the-back foul as well. Possession error will keep it here with Western Kentucky.
But that's a great call, though, Chris, because he was in the right position. He went to the opposite side of where the ball was shot. Statistically, it'll tell you that the ball comes off on that side. He was there for the carry.
How does Western Kentucky have to change the offense without Charles Bassey?
Well, they've gone 5 on the perimeter at times, but already we see they think they can score inside with Williams Oh, nearly some cleanup.
And Anderson missed a point blank would-be putback. Jared Savage finally gets Western Kentucky on the board nearly 3 minutes into the game.
And right now they're going 4 out, 1 in with Williams. They think he can score in there. He's been having some difficulty in the first few possessions, but they've been able to get second chance opportunities.
Scott Grayson got that one kicked. 19 on the shot clock.
There you see Savage with the fresh
reset
cut.
it to 22. Yeah, I know. I didn't recognize him until I saw the number 2 on the jersey.
Right. Having trouble getting that thing in.
Western Kentucky really playing some good defense. Other than that open look they gave Gay, and Tyreek Scott Grayson takes it right to the rim. You told me earlier in the day how much Robert Eson thinks of that young kid.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. He's a junior now. They're looking to him to score a little bit more. But just a steady player, can get a lot of things done at both ends. A terrific defender, nice slasher. Pretty solid three-point shooter as well. And Scott Grayson, the lefty, able to go off the dribble. And there is the difference between good players and great players, because that's a tough shot in traffic, but you can't always get the high percentage shot. Sometimes you have to create a high percentage shot, and good players can do that.
Rawls at the free throw line, 64% on the season. They got Lovin with the foul. He takes a seat. Got another freshman coming in, Jordan Brinson from Inglewood, California. Robert Eson is really high on his bench. In fact, he says there have been some games this season where the bench has clearly outplayed the starters, and he thinks that he made a mistake late in a couple of games, taking the bench players out and putting the starters back in for the stretch run.
When you think about the Memphis game where they blew a 20-point lead on this floor, and at the time Memphis was a top 20 team, but the starters kind of blew that lead for them. It was the bench that got them the big cushion. But that's a nice luxury, though, because obviously your starters are starters, but when you can have quality coming off the bench, as Butler delivers a nice pass on the slice to Gay. Couldn't convert, but he was hammered.
Will Butler, one of those bench players, and he mentioned the Memphis game and also the first conference game at Charlotte. The game was tied with 2:47 left, and the starters came back in and were outscored 8-1 the rest of the way. The two losses on the road at Charlotte, 51-44, and on the road at Old Dominion, 58-52. Very, very low scoring. UAB top 20 in the country in scoring defense, but they've got to figure out how to put more points on the board.
Yeah, and that's not an easy task because Scooty Bryant did so much for them. First of all, being able to just go get him a high percentage shot on his own at any time, but he's a great ball handler and a distributor as well.
Savage has a couple of threes in the early going. Western Kentucky retakes the lead at 7-6. They're still showing that pressure. And the true freshman got it poked from behind. Alley-oop, and the soft little put-in from Will Butler, senior from Jamaica.
Showing a little gentle touch on that rim. I thought he was going to rip it down.
Didn't want to hurt the rim.
Dropped it in.
He hurt it a few times at the shoot-around today.
Sure did.
Throwing it down. Bad miss by Anderson.
Yeah, no chance there. Just a wild shot. And we talked to Robert Eson about trying to get easier buckets, and transition is where you do that. And you saw just now they tried to run, but Western did a great job of getting back and getting matched up, forcing them again to attack the half-court offense, the half-court defense.
Benjamin not shy. Gay, the offensive rebound.
Step out.
And he did step out of bounds, Tim. Brings us to our first media timeout of the first half with 15:02 left. UAB leads by a point, thanks in part to Will Butler. We got that nice feed from Tyreek Scott Grayson here in the early going in Birmingham. UAB with a 1-point lead here, 15:02 to go in the first half. It's in Scarborough. I'm Chris Hassel. It has been a roller coaster season so far for UAB. They started 4-1, then dismissed Zach Bryant, lost 3 straight, then won their next 5 heading into conference play. Tim, some impressive wins, including a neutral site win over Duquesne.
And that's a big one right there. Duquesne at the time was undefeated, and they were able to do that. So you started to think, man, this UAB team is really going to get it going. And then they went on the road for 2 at Charlotte and at Old Dominion. And in their opinion, they had a chance to win both of them and gave them away. So they really want to right the ship now and start feeling much better about themselves. They got some work to do. This Western team still a tough team to beat, even without Charles Bassett.
Butler, the big block. Shot clock down to 5. Savage left open again. He's got 3 threes, and he's hit them all in a row.
Mistake, a major breakdown defensively, and Savage able to materialize at the top of the key and splash it down for his 3rd knockdown of the day.
They break the press, but it took some time. Tyreek Scott Grayson misses the runner, and Josh Anderson corrals it for Western Kentucky. Savage is feeling it.
That time, much more contested, and Jared Savage still almost was able to splash it down, but he finally misses one.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. You made 3 in a row.
Absolutely.
Get a look. Why not?
And this team, Western, has been averaging about 79 points a game. So scoring hasn't been a problem even without Charles Bassett.
Butler inside. Too many steps. They want to try to exploit the fact that Western Kentucky doesn't have the tall guy Charles Bassey anymore, and they don't have very many tall guys, period. They really think Butler could have a huge night.
They have Horton, who comes off the bench. Matt is about 6'11". He's just a freshman. And he was a guy, when you think about when they recruited guys like him, Charles Bassey was thinking about going to the NBA. So they thought they'd need another post player. And Horton is still kind of developing. They've gone small. Nobody taller than really 6'5", 6'6" in the starting lineup.
Yeah, Josh Anderson, the tallest player at 6'6". Shot clock to 7. Good defense from UAB. Hollingsworth gets bumped and draws the foul. There were only 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate foul, a bailout, because it was 3 seconds and they weren't looking at the rim. So the chance of getting a good shot were very minimal, but that collision bailed them out.
So the shot clock resets to 20, and we get our first look at the baseball player, Antonio Relat, wearing number 25 for UAB, guarding Jordan Rawls. Played 4 years of baseball here at UAB. Said, you know what, I played basketball in high school. I'll give it a shot. And he's been really good.
Yes, and I was surprised to see how many minutes he had been getting over the course of the season.
Williams, oh, he pricked it and it went in. That's a home roll on the road.
Oh, that was the Angels in the outfield situation right there. An invisible force tipped that one home for him.
4 threes in this game for Western Kentucky. That's every single field goal has been a 3-point shot.
Watch this, Chris. When you look at the fact that Charles Bassey's out for the year, and then Carson Williams, again, he's not Charles Bassey, he's 6'5", still plays the post, but he can go out on the perimeter. But his points and really the rebounding too, you already seen him. You've seen him on the glass at the offensive end, getting offensive rebounds. He's potential stick back, but more important, second chance opportunity for his team.
UAB's in trouble. Gay had to launch because the shot clock was running out. Butler tipped that one out of bounds, so it's Western Kentucky basketball up 5. And this is what they're missing in Charles Bassey. Top talents in all of college basketball.
Yeah, and you know, he's an NBA prospect, so that tells you everything you need to know. As a sophomore, again, went into the draft and then came back for his 2nd year. But he is a rim wrecker and a very athletic, not extraordinary. You know, he's not Ben Wallace or anything, but he's a decent athlete. And at 6'11", he moves well enough and has enough touch around the bucket that makes him an NBA prospect. But my gut tells me he'll probably have to come back to Western another year.
Lovin all the way.
And that's what UAB needs more of, getting out in transition And this gives them those opportunities when you take a quick shot if you're Western Kentucky. Here we go.
This is Kasim Nicholson, and the C's part.
That was just a major defensive breakdown. No matchups in transition, and now they turn it over again.
Western is all out of sorts. Ralat got it rejected, but that'll be goaltending. And Rick Stansberry cannot be happy at all.
This transition opportunity here, nearly erased, but as you see, that ball just nips the backboard, and once it touches it, it's a no-no. You can't touch it again. But right here, this just should not happen. No matchups. The C's part, as you mentioned, and as a result, they punch it home.
Western Kentucky had a 6-0 run. UAB's responded with 6 straight quick ones. UAB has scored 6 straight points in less than 30 seconds to take a 1-point lead here midway through the first half. Here on Stadium, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. You can catch live and on-demand games, extensive highlights, classic games, and original programming. Check your local television listings or go to watchstadium.com. Stadium, welcome to the game. And we've got the Saturday game here at UAB as well. Marshall coming into town. A 2-game homestand for the Blazers.
There was a time not long ago that this road trip, the Middle Tennessee UAB road trip, was vicious. Nobody could come out of there with 2 wins, and most came out with 2 losses. Savage turned that one over. He wanted to pass it. He kept it at the dribble. See if we can take a look on this end. So he wants to pass this ball and watch him pick it up almost, and then decides he wants to dribble again. And Gary Maxwell all over it.
And Lovin caught a hard screen as well. And he's inbounding here on this 1-2-2 pressure.
And we haven't seen this pressure a lot because you have to score or at least have a dead ball to get it set. And the scoring has been a drought kind of as of late. Other than Jared Savage knocking down those threes, Western really hasn't had much offense.
There's Lovin trying to get to the hoop. Shot clock down to 5. Lovin short corner. Good look and good bucket. Bad defense with the shot clock winding down.
Again, Western not quite in sync at that end. Those transition opportunities should not have happened, at least 2 of them, and Rick Stansberry had to call a timeout to get them regrouped.
Jeremiah Gambrell missing.
Gambrell is not shy. He's getting a little bit more minutes now that Bassey's out of the lineup, even though he's a perimeter. But they just don't have a lot of bodies that are available over there, as we talked about. And if Justice is not going to play with that bad back, Gambrell will get some time.
Nice take by Tavion Hollingsworth. That ends an 8-0 UAB run. First 2-point bucket of the game for Western Kentucky. They were 0 for 8 from 2-point range. Butler inside. Just missing. Offensive rebound, and it's stripped away.
See if they can get a scoring chance here.
Gambrell will launch again and miss again, but Hollingsworth gets the rebound. There's Matt Horton, biggest guy they have at their disposal at 6'11".
5 offensive rebounds in the early going for Western Kentucky.
They're just not shooting it at all. 5 for 20.
Will Butler is a handful in the paint. They need the double, and it came late, but it did come.
Yeah, he had good position.
Yeah, he was just about the big boy, Matt Horton. And Tavion Hollingsworth finally realized that it came in and made him pass it away. Will Butler missed 18 games last year with an injury. He's a guy that certainly could have helped them down the stretch, although UAB finished strong.
Ralat already with 4 points. He had 115 starts at shortstop for the Blazer baseball team.
You're an athlete, Chris. You're an athlete. Just kicking ball.
Gambrell, good look on the cross-court pass. Rawls uses the head fake. Misses way long. That didn't hit rim. Shot clock's to 3. Hollingsworth is open. And UAB the board.
And Western is not going to light you up from downtown. They're just not. 7.4 they make per game, but not to be outdone, UAB says we're only going to make 5.5. So we won't see a lot of splashes in this game at either end.
Lovin gets double teamed, goes up with the left hand, misses. Great rebound from Pearson. Oh boy, that's a big boy rebound.
Tamel showing extreme athleticism, but if you don't box out, he gets a free run at the rim and he takes advantage.
Hollingsworth the crossover, short on the 3, and a rebound UAB.
It's a low percentage shot though. Off the dribble, in traffic, crossover for guys shooting in the 20s from downtown.
And UAB again doing most of this with some reserves in the game. Like Ralat, who has the ball already with 4 points. Tried to draw a foul, didn't get the call, and that one is going to stay with UAB because of the hustle by Kasim Nicholson.
You said it, the energy level at that end, especially on the offensive glass, has been solid. Taven Lovin in the paint, can't convert, but a great putback by Tamil.
Platforms Wednesday and Sunday night, 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Stadium, welcome to the game. UAB with a 20-15 lead on Western Kentucky, and it would be a lot more if not for the play of Jared Savage, who has 9 points and 6 rebounds, all 9 of his points from outside.
And he has been terrific from downtown. Again, a tardy rotation is a no-no when Jared Savage is on the floor. Just a simple ball screen throwback, and he knocked down a couple there. And then this one, he found himself wide open at the top of the key for an easy splash. 3 for 5 from the field, 3 for 5 from downtown.
But UAB is just killing Western Kentucky in the paint, outscoring the Toppers 14-2. Western Kentucky with just one made two-point bucket. Fans wanted a travel.
Kind of similar to the Jared Savage play.
Hollingsworth gets to the hoop.
And he's so crafty with the basketball, but take a look at this at the other end.
Touchdown pass, and Pearson's got another easy one.
And that was a great look to get that ball over the defense. That 1-2-2 is supposed to slow you down. It's not supposed to be easy to throw it over the top, but a great delivery that time.
This is Rawls for 3, way short. He's 0 for 5 in this game. Again, he's getting the start because Cameron Justice injured his back. As we take a look at that touchdown pass, and good patience from Pearson, letting the trailer fly by.
Benjamin, we talked about him looking to score. He was about 70 feet from the basket that time, so he couldn't look to score, so he gave it up.
Again, Cameron Justice didn't start in this game. He is available for Western Kentucky. I just don't know if he's going to be able to play. It's another turnover for the Hilltoppers, and some frustration now from Carson Williams. The rest of the team with just 8 points.
And Savage did his damage at the beginning of the game, as you see on that picture right there. That was the Savage with the hair. He probably should have got a haircut sooner so he can shoot the way he's been shooting. This has been terrific.
Pearson rushed that, Tim, didn't he?
He really did, but he had to because the defense was breathing down his neck.
Tyreek Scott Grayson way off on the three-point attempt.
We have seen a few jump shots at both ends chip the side of the backboard, but that's a testament to the defense. They're making those shots a lot tougher. And Justice is in the game now as he gave that pass up, number 5 in black for Western.
Yeah, that is a good sign. Number 5, Cameron Justice, out there averaging 13 points a game. Hurt his back this week as Savage gets called for the foul. That's his second. There's Cameron Justice, grad transfer from IUPUI.
Up in Pennsylvania, have a couple of nieces, twin nieces that graduated from that school.
Last 9 games. Points are up, a couple of ticks. 1 of 3 Kentucky Mr. Basketballs on this Western Kentucky team.
And he's made 33 long distance shots this year, so he's the guy. He and Savage are the 2 guys that knock it down on a fairly consistent basis for them.
Anderson steps through and gets it to go. He's known as a dunker, but some finesse at the rim that time.
Well, he's just a terrific offensive player in the open court. As you see, he's so agile. Just goes right around the defender for an easy layup.
Pearson missing that. And it's ripped out of there by Hollingsworth. Justice calling for it. He gets it, launches, and misses off the bench. But Williams, the offensive board.
Yeah, Williams has done yeoman's work so far on the glass at that end.
Western Kentucky not shooting it well at all, 25%. And a lot of second chance opportunities. Now here comes Williams looking to score. Big body gets inside and draws the foul on Maktar Gay. And here are the 3 Mr. Kentucky winners, back-to-back-to-back years, all on one roster. Cameron Justice, Carson Williams, and Tavion Hollingsworth.
They didn't take the direct approach as Justice and Williams are transfers in, but they landed here eventually. Of course, Tavion Hollingsworth has been a starter from day 1.
A couple more subs for UAB. They are the deeper team compared to Western Kentucky. So we'll keep an eye on that in the second half.
We'll have to see exactly how that plays out down the stretch if UAB can look a little bit more fresher and make enough plays, because neither one of these teams are explosive enough offensively to pull away from the other the way this one's looking like it's going to play out.
Western Kentucky back within 1.
UAB only gives up 60.1 points per game, number 17 in the nation in that department. So you know they make it tough. Coming off a game where they only scored 44 points, though, so sometimes they make it tough at this end for themselves.
Good look, Benjamin, inside to Butler, who just had great position, and nothing Western could do about it.
Another great pass, though, by the freshman, Benjamin, with the delivery. But you're right, if you let Will Butler catch it a foot from the basket, there's not a person in Western Kentucky uniform, because Charles Bassey's not there, that can stop that.
Yeah, it'd be a different story with Bassey.
It would be. He probably wouldn't be able to catch it that close, to be honest.
Butler forces a miss. Look at Williams. He's just a junkyard dog in there.
Yeah, he and Savage have been terrific on that glass.
And now Williams out to Rawls, who takes it inside and finishes.
Nice. The freshman playing with confidence despite the slow start. 0 for 5 from the field. Now 1 for 6 with that bucket. Well, that was the first real good look he got. As he missed a couple of threes and even a jump shot that was inside the 3, but it was hit the side of the rim.
Lovin takes it in and gets a good look. Had it just the layup, just a touch.
He's got 6 down, 3 for 4. But you see his ability, like we talked about at the top, to go off the dribble and slash to the rim. And he's a strong player, so he takes those bumps and he's able to finish.
Williams squares up, shot clock under 10. Rawls deep 2. Houston Rockets wouldn't like that.
Houston Rockets would never take a shot that close, would they? That perimeter shot.
You either dunk it or you take a 3 anymore in the NBA. Moved the three-point line back a bit this season, as you can tell. The green line is the new one. Hasn't really affected three-point shooting. Justice pulls up and misses. He's 0 for 2 off the bench.
Better job of getting matched up, at least initially. But they tried to drop back into what looked like a 3-2 zone there. They had a nice hole in the middle, but nonetheless, it got tipped away.
Well, Williams doing a great job creating second chance opportunities for Western Kentucky, and they're only down 1. UAB up 1 here. We have more college hoops coming your way on Saturday evening. Air Force visiting New Mexico at the Pit. You can catch that game exclusively on Facebook at 6 Eastern Time. Stadium, welcome to the game. Check out some notables from around Conference USA. Louisiana Tech 5-game winning streak, but that's about to come to an end. They're down 21 at UTSA right now, Tim.
Yeah, that show on the road is a little different, it looks like. FIU, they're the surprise, 8-1.
They're also getting beat by 12 at halftime at North Texas right now.
You know, the winner of Conference USA is probably going to take 3 to 4, maybe even 5 losses. There's a lot of parity in this league, and the teams that have traditionally, the last couple of years anyway, have been down are kind of moving up. You think of UTEP and FIU in particular, and Charlotte is a lot better as well.
And this will be the second consecutive year of bonus play. Last 5 games on the schedule are open.
Moving.
Yep. And you got it, Tim. Moving screen, and it's going the other way. Justice missed the open look anyway.
What happens here is this a dribble handoff, and you're trying to do what they do in football, kind of a rub route. But if you gain too much of an advantage as that got Justice an open shot, the officials have to give that the whistle and punish it, because otherwise you would never be able to stop anybody if you just run through like that.
Trying to save the possession, and they do. Nicholson had some trouble with it. And it'll stay with UAB with the shot clock at 13.
Both these teams have been punishing each other with offensive rebounds.
Yeah, Western Kentucky already has 10 offensive rebounds. That was UAB's 6th. Shot clock under 10 now. And that 3 is stroked home from the freshman. It's a good looking one too. Jalen Benjamin really struggled with his shot the last couple of games. 5 for 21 combined in the first 2 conference games. 2 of 12 from 3-point range.
He looked good shooting that one though, and he shot it with confidence, most importantly.
Rawls had a point blank look, but in and out on the floater.
It feels like he was fouled, but I'm not so sure.
UAB has led for most of the first half here. They were down by 5 at one point, then used an 8-0 run to take the lead. Under a minute to go here in the first. In this first conference home game for UAB, they're 0-2 in CUSA play. Western Kentucky, one of 6 unbeatens entering the night, and that's another freshman, Jordan Brinson. More from the bench, Tim. And Robert Eson's fired up as Rick Stansberry uses a timeout. Check out that drive and this bucket from Jordan Brinson.
The dribble drive has been the friend of UAB, but right here, it's all about the Benjamins. What? From downtown. That was a nice splash, but you know, if you're playing other than Benjamin, really, I would back up a little bit more and guard these guys off the dribble. They're running dribble handoff series, and they're getting to the rim. They're turning that corner.
Both Lovin and Benjamin underclassmen. Lovin's a sophomore. Benjamin is a freshman. And again, both having to step up, especially Benjamin, with the dismissal of Zach Bryant. Dismissed back on November the 17th for conduct detrimental to the team. He was the only UAB player on the Conference USA preseason team. And it sounds like he's going to head over to Georgia Southern and try to play next season.
And one of the more terrific game dunkers. We have one here in Josh Anderson, number 4 for Western, but Scooty Bryant could bang him down with the best of them in this conference for sure.
About an 8-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Shot clock now under 10. Justice in the corner.
That's good D.
Williams with 1 on the shot clock. Off the mark. Rebound Benjamin.
Gotta go.
4 seconds. Benjamin between the legs. Little floater. Can't get the bounce. But he did draw a foul.
And Kip Kissinger, the official, is calling that one on the floor. And that's just the 15th foul. Let's see if we can take a look at where the foul occurs. Nice hesitation go. And right there when Rawls grabbed him by the shoulder.
And Robert Eson will take this opportunity to call a timeout and draw something up. What would you like to see here, Tim, with 1 second left?
Yeah, you got to probably get some. Either you can certainly do a catch and shoot, but more than likely throwing something at the rim. And you know, we saw them working on inbounds passes and shoot around. Underneath, inbounding underneath is a great opportunity to run guys through screens and get a high percentage shot, a nice quick hitter, if you will. And you know, if I was Western, I'd play zone to make sure there's no miscommunication to avoid giving up a high percentage shot with just 1 second left.
And Western still has a foul to give, but you wouldn't want to try that here because as soon as somebody touches it, they're going to be shooting the basketball.
They're going to be in the act. Yep. So you don't want to hack them in the act and give them free ones. They're going to go man-to-man. Now, you have to communicate here to make sure you don't give up a layup.
Benjamin lobs it up, hit the side of the backboard, and that's how the first half is going to end. But a good first half for UAB, looking for some home cooking after losing 2 tight ones on the road to begin Conference USA play. The Blazers lead the preseason favorites in Conference USA, 31-25. Don't go anywhere. This is Stadium College Basketball, and I think we're in for a pretty good finish tonight.
Malik Curry against Sims to the left-hand side. That's an A.J. Oliver 3 that's no good. Jason Wade there for the putback, the harm, and the deuce. Curry into the left-hand corner. Jason Wade won't take the 3 from there. Puts it on the deck, though. Gets into the paint. Goes to Oliver. He's got a right wing 3 laced up, and it's good. 8 Old Dominion leading Middle Tennessee with 8:34 to play. Jones rises and fires. That's short. Jason Wade gets to the rebound. 2 on 3, 3 on 3. Wade down the right-hand side. Layup good. 8:20 to go. Oliver and Green playing catch. Now to Wade. Wade takes it down the right-hand side, gets stuffed, and he puts it up and in.
Give offense, but now is adjusted to a starter's role and played very well.
Taking it all the way in and missing it. Put back by Anderson is no good. Another staple for Rick Stansbury over the years. He's always had a big man. And this is uncharted territory for him with Charles Bassey being out for the rest of the season. Another bucket for Williams. Big night continues for Williams. How do you stop that? Justice gets it, blocks by Parrish, ends up underneath to Williams, and Williams plays it in.
As easy a bucket as he's had all day.
Look at this.
Heads up play by Savage there, though. He sees Williams underneath the basket and makes the touch pass.
Owls up 15. Wallace fires from long distance and hits. Second three-pointer for Keaton Wallace with 10 to shoot. The triple on the way, off the rim. Rebound tapped outside. Wallace has it again. The runner in the paint is good. With 1:24 to play.
2-3 zone.
Wallace from way outside hits.
Oh my.
23 points for Wallace. Good way to defend that.
No.
Coming off the screen and You know, you're going to give up a 26-footer? Okay. 20 seconds to go. Wallace with a pull-up 12-footer is good. He's a nice player.
Yes,
Just a really
so.
nice player.
A flashy finish with under 8 minutes to play. Jackson got a sliver of space as he whizzes his way to the buckets. Again, quickly going underneath. Jackson pump faked, didn't let it fly. It didn't matter, got it to go. Now keep it right here. It seemed like a more difficult shot. Andrews was a little bit closer to him. They went up by 5, and FIU quickly erased that. Jackson, way too much space for that guy. Love it, nearly another bucket. And that's off the mark. Jackson, UTSA needs something desperately. Jackson gives him 2 and maybe 3. Out sprinting Andrews to the buckets, and Antonio Day commits the foul. Another open 3. He's 0 for 2 to start, but a nice job crashing the glass from Devon Andrews, and he gets the reverse to go. Haley College at 12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists in 25 minutes in that win, as you see the put back from Andrews. Andrews from in front of the UTSA bench. Give him 3 more. Appreciate you joining us tonight. I'm AJ Ricketts. As the Panthers looking to pick up their 11th win. Out of the half-court sets. 10th turnover from UTSA. Andrews again getting to the bucket. Now Andrews to respond. Yes! Andrews regains the lead for FIU.
Well, it was a glorious day here in Birmingham today, about 60 degrees. Not bad for January, right? 31-25, the home team leads Western Kentucky here at halftime. Want to let you know that tomorrow night on Stadium, we have some great high school hoops to bring you from South Carolina. Hammond and Cardinal Newman hitting the floor. The action beginning at 7:30 Eastern Time on Stadium, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Stadium, welcome to the game. And we'll be back to talk much more about this game and get you ready for the second half in just a moment. Happy home fans here in Birmingham because UAB has a 6-point lead at halftime over the preseason favorites to win Conference USA, Western Kentucky. They're off to a 2-0 start, are the Hilltoppers. UAB is 0-2. You wouldn't think that by watching the first half. I've been so impressed with how balanced UAB has been. They've played 9 players, and every player has made a basket in this game.
And they've had a lot of contributions, as you said. But the thing that you think about the last game, they only had 44 points the whole game. They got 31 in this first half, so Robert Eason has to be elated with the productivity at that end. But I think defensively they have really cracked down. When you think about Western Kentucky hit their first 4 of their first 7 threes, then they missed the last 10. So they did a much better job of rotating. They took kind of Jared Savage out of it in terms of being there when he caught it, made other guys try to beat them, and as a result, they have a comfortable lead.
Savage did his damage early, made 3 quick threes. He has 9 points and 7 rebounds in the first half.
These were just tardy rotations, which is, as I said, a no-no when Jared Savage is in the building. That one right there, just a simple throwback. You have to be there when he catches it because he's going to let it fly, and he's pretty accurate when you're not guarding him. And that one right there was just inexcusable. You have to get out on the top of the key and guard him when he's catching the ball. You have to be there when he catches it, and as a result, they did a much better job than later in that first half, and you see the numbers here, and this is a big one. 4 for 17. They didn't get any bench points for Western, but they don't have a lot of bench.
Well, we'll see what they can muster in the second half. It's coming up in just a minute. Here are the leading scorers from the first half. Jared Savage, all of his points coming from three-point range early in this game. Western Kentucky's missed 10 consecutive threes. And for UAB, it's Taven Lovin, 6 points, 4 rebounds. The Blazers start with the basketball here in the second half with a 6-point lead.
Comfortable lead, but certainly not out of reach if you're Western. Both teams did a great job of taking care of the basketball. Western has been the last few games, and that's been carrying over into this one as well.
Does that count as the announcer jinx? Because you said taking care of the basketball, and then they promptly turn it over.
The jinx usually comes from the person sitting in your seat.
That's true. Coach Stansbury will take that. A defensive stop.
Yeah, that counts. Well, just the 8th turnover by UAB. Western only has 4 so far.
Tavion Hollingsworth misses the 3. Taven Lovett ahead of the pack.
That right there should never happen. Long rebound and you get a dunk at the other end. And Rick Stansbury just standing there with his arms folded. And disappointment with his team right there.
Anderson left all alone. Short on the three. They've missed 11 consecutive three-pointers.
Great pass fake, which led to the wide open Anderson shot. Well, here we go. Watch this long rebound from the corner. Now, Rawls went for the rebound. He's the guy that needs to be covering the basket. Tavion Hollingsworth, the other guard that covers the basket, took the shot from the corner, so he had the furthest distance to run. Once Rawls misses that rebound, that's a run out at the other end, and they take advantage.
And Rawls seeing a lot of minutes tonight, started the game and the second half because Cameron Justice is battling a back injury. Played just a handful of minutes in the first half.
That's a freshman mistake, though. When the second Tavion Hollingsworth shoots that ball from the corner, Rawls should already be backpedaling back on defense. No reason to go for that rebound. And if he goes for it, he's got to come up with it because he's the last safety.
UAB with its largest lead of the night. It's 8, and now it's back to 6. Maybe that can get Williams going in this game. Had just 5 points in the first half.
And they went to him a lot, but he wasn't able to deliver. And now here comes this 1-2-2 that we didn't see a lot of. We saw it early, but then they got away from it.
Akhtar Gueye trying to post up inside on Williams. Tough to get it in there with this zone. Benjamin will take the three. He didn't want the screen. He wanted the triple.
And I don't have a problem with playing off of most of the guys in the Blazer uniforms, but not that guy. He's already shown he's found the mark from three today. Now you have to contest him.
And Rawls continues his poor shooting. He's 2 for 9. Lovin got the lob inside, but got cut off by the big-bodied Williams. Akhtar Gueye.
You better have a sense of urgency getting back if you're Western. Nice delivery.
No urgency there. They left him wide open. Lovin taps that out to Benjamin for a second chance opportunity.
And again, the three-point shot is not the Blazers' game, but they can knock him down if you leave him wide open.
Benjamin, a little hesitation.
That's where he's really good. Going off the dribble and finding a way to get that ball up on the glass. And then
the lead is 11 for UAB, Tim.
We talked about it being all about the Benjamins. This kid right here, turning the corner, able to deliver at the rim.
UAB's up by 11 right now, flashing back to the semifinals and maybe the best game of the Conference USA tournament last season. You saw the explosiveness from Zach Bryan. It looked like UAB was going to get to the championship game, Tim.
Yeah, they were finishing strong, but Old Dominion came roaring back. A questionable foul call there, and then they were able to get the lead late at the free throw line. Really, the Blazers did have one last opportunity to knock Jeff Jones' team out. Robert Eason drew up a great play. They had a layup, long pass, but the pass went too long, and as a result, Old Dominion went on to the final game to face Western Kentucky.
And beat Western Kentucky.
It's a fine line between winning and losing, though.
Now Hollingsworth a fadeaway. Well short. UAB a chance to build on this 11-point lead.
They are pushing that thing in transition. He's got him.
Pearson, good look inside the game.
Terrell was wide open at first. Benjamin finally saw him, but he was able to find Gay on a nice cut as a result.
Outscoring Western Kentucky 9-2 here in the second half.
So this is a switching man-to-man. Looks like more like a matchup zone, but they're guarding everyone, so you got to call it a switching man-to-man. Well, you notice all 5 players are facing the basketball, which makes it difficult to drive if you're Western.
Well, how badly did Western need that?
They needed
Carson Williams.
They needed it. And he was able to cash it in from 3. They need more from Carson Williams. He's got 10. Savage with 9. Those 2 are really the guys that are carrying the load offensively.
That snapped a streak of 12 consecutive missed threes. Gay gets it inside, then to the short corner for Pearson. Got rejected by the bottom of the rim.
Yeah, he rim checked himself, jumped too far. How about that?
Rawls on the runner and gets the bounce. In Western Kentucky, rare back-to-back buckets here as they try to fight their way back into the game. Western was the slight favorite tonight, favored by about 2 points. After their 2-0 home start, UAB lost its 2 road games. No-look pass from Benjamin. And now a little drop inside and a missed bunny from Gay.
May have been fouled there, though.
The pass inside Hollingsworth, tried to reverse it, missed it. He wanted a foul call, didn't get it.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of contact there.
Tyreek Scott Grayson traveled. Pulled that ball to his body and carried it like a running back.
Western has gotten it going a little bit, though. But UAB at the other end, a nice backdoor by Maktar Gay, but it was Williams able to splash it down, keeping Western within striking distance.
Back here in Birmingham, where UAB leads by 8 over Western Kentucky. Little homestand this weekend. Home game tonight against Western Kentucky, and then on Saturday against Marshall. Got the same crew for that one. We'll be staying here in Birmingham, bringing that one to you at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Marshall looks like it's going to get its conference record to 2-1. They lead Middle Tennessee by 6 with about 90 seconds to go in that game.
That is a road game. They'll have a chance to try to get a sweep here in Birmingham on Saturday if they can hold on tonight.
Well, Carson Williams comes in as the co-player of the week in Conference USA. Averaged 18 points and 7.5 rebounds a game in the 2 wins. And you've been impressed with FIU so far this season as well.
Yeah, FIU has been solid, and they've been scoring a lot of points. Osagehi and company. So I can't wait to see them a little bit later in the season. And, you know, they're doing this for the second straight year. They're doing the bonus play. So we really don't know who we're going to see on Stadium in February. But I'm really hoping FIU is one of those teams. Benjamin cashes it in again.
Yeah, he's like, okay, you're going to leave me open? I'll shoot it.
And they have dared him to shoot, and he has made them pay. And a turnover here.
Whistled away from the ball. And the shot clock is at 20 with 14 minutes exactly to go here in this ball game. And UAB is up by 10.
And UAB has scored 42 points, again coming off of a 44-point performance on the road at Charlotte on Saturday. So this has got to be having them feel good, but they want to close this deal. And Western's not out of it yet. Still plenty of time to get back into it.
Yeah, only 44 at Charlotte, only 52 at Old Dominion. And they were right in both of those games. They were toss-ups with about 2 minutes to go.
Another second chance here.
But
walk. Scott Grayson says he had a right pivot foot. And sometimes when you're a left-handed guy and you use that right pivot foot, a referee is used to seeing you plant that left foot down, and they look at you move that left foot, and they think you moved your pivot.
Only 5 turnovers for Western Kentucky. This could be a 4th consecutive game where they don't reach the 10 turnover mark.
Yeah, they've been taking care of it. And you notice when you take care of the basketball, you win basketball games.
They won the last 2. They're going to need more of that to win this one. A 3 from Rawls.
Solid looking freshman, able to knock another one down. He struggled early, but he's not lacking confidence. Still putting it up when given the opportunity.
Shot clock under 10. Benjamin bounces down low on the block to Butler. And that's just a patient, strong move by the man, Will Butler. He's a man, 245-pound senior.
Yeah, and if you're going to let him big boy you in the paint, it's going to be a long night.
Hollingsworth, that time the reverse goes. He missed one of those earlier in this game.
Tavion has struggled tonight, just 3 of 11 after that make. Rawls 4 for 11. So the backcourt right now 7 for 22 for Western Kentucky.
It's 44-37. Western Kentucky within 7. And a chance to cut into this lead even more. Rawls left his feet.
Fortunate there.
Anderson. He was left alone.
They dare him. And with good reason. Josh Anderson is not known as a three-point shooter. Look at this at the other end.
Seen that a lot tonight. UAB getting some easy buckets in transition.
They've been able to throw it over the top of that 1-2-2. And that time, Will Butler, the recipient of the dime, and he smashes it on the head of Josh Anderson.
Anderson thought about another 3. It's a 6-point game. 46-40 coming up on 11 minutes to go. Now a 1-possession game. Anderson.
How about that?
Hot.
And Josh Anderson, improbable. He's only made 6 coming in 2 tonight. He doesn't take a lot of them. 6 for 21. He's hit a couple in a row here.
And Butler got it blocked by Williams. They got it poked, but Mac-Targay, right place, right time, cleans it up.
You got to figure out a way to get either 3/4 around or front Butler and make him throw it over the top, because those easy post passes, Butler's going to finish because he's only a few feet from the basket.
A hedge. Lovin got his hand on it. Oh, great take to the hoop as Hollingsworth hits the deck but gets teed up. He wanted a foul call, said something to the official, and he gets a technical foul.
Darren George, the official, is not the one to play with.
And Rick Stansbury having a talk with Hollingsworth. Got a little bit lucky, got it back. Thought he got fouled by Gay and must have said the magic word here in the Magic City. Hey, on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the Midshipmen of Navy visit Lehigh. You can catch that game right here on Stadium, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Back to the Tavion Hollingsworth bucket, and then watch him get teed up here at the end as he kind of gestures to the ref. Come on! Because he wanted a foul call. And
that seems that was a little sensitive, in my opinion, because unless he cursed at him, which we can kind of read his lips, he basically what you just said.
He definitely said, "Come on." I don't know what he said after that.
Yeah,
but
so if he didn't say anything else after that, I'm surprised he gets teed up. And you can understand a guy who gets knocked to the floor. Now, I don't think it was a foul, but he did get knocked to the floor. But it was a principle of verticality in play where Gay went straight up, so you're not going to tag him with a personal. But at the same time, Tavion felt like he was fouled. Yeah. He has a right to say something. So unless he cursed at him, I don't know why he would get teed up there.
Well, he's taking a seat now, and Cameron Justice is back in this game for Western Kentucky. Bad back at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, no pun intended, right? Back in this game. You look at Tavion Hollingsworth, he had 994 points coming into this season. Career, he's in 1,182 now. 14 points a game. Just a solid contributor. As a junior, has started almost every game of his career.
Yeah, 83rd consecutive start tonight. That's top 15 in the country. That technical foul costs them 2 points. They're down 5, and here's a steal at a 2-on-1. Benjamin lost it, then dishes it. And the bucket from Kasim Nicholson.
Nicholson kept moving, and a great delivery by Benjamin because they had broken up that fast break, but Benjamin still able to deliver the package at the doorstep.
So 4 straight for UAB after Western cut it to 3. Benjamin clears the board.
Josh Anderson, not the best ball handler. He got stripped, which allowed that last fast break. And just when you thought it was safe for Western Kentucky to kind of exhale, UAB has stretched it out a little bit once again. But as we said earlier, still plenty of possessions, plenty of time left in this one.
Butler double team. Shot clock to 6. Nicholson recognizes and airballs it. Well, I think the officials are going to go back and put the shot clock to about 2 seconds because
that was
you're right, Tim. It was an air ball, and I don't think Western Kentucky had full possession there.
They did. Well, now that's debatable, but I think you're right. But it was close, and it was close enough that the scorekeeper reset it. But take a look here. This was a recovery where they stopped the transition opportunity, but because Nicholson kept cutting and Benjamin had his head up, he was able to deliver a great pass for Kasim Nicholson to score.
Well, now the officiating crew by Darren George, assisted by Kip Kissinger and Gary Maxwell, looking to see how much time should go on the shot clock. And
yeah.
I'm going to say that they put it at about 2 seconds.
And that's a bailout because they weren't even thinking about shooting that basketball. And it would have probably been a shot clock violation. But because of that clock error.
1 second.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, Brinson wasn't even thinking about shooting that ball. He was dribbling it back out.
You see the shot clock there at the top part of your screen. Airballed it, and it reset with about 4. But with those dribbles, they run that time off, and they come up with 1 second. UAB did catch a break, though, because I don't think they would have gotten a shot off.
You're right. So now they have a chance to get a high percentage one. Maybe not.
That was not high percentage. No, it was not. Taven Lovin, a fadeaway baseline jumper from 18.
And that was Ralat, who hasn't played a lot of basketball. We mentioned he's a baseball player. As inexperienced, because you don't give the ball to him in that situation. You got to find somebody else or wait for him to get his feet set.
Well, that's the 11th turnover of the game for UAB. Up by 7, under 9 minutes to go. Hollingsworth back out there after the technical foul. Williams the running hook.
Oh, he took
Western
it off the rim.
Wants goaltending.
They're going to
get it.
And that's unfortunate because that ball wasn't going to fall in, but it was still in the cylinder. So a break here for Western. Take a look at this running hook by Williams. This ball is coming off, and Taven Lovin didn't wait for it. It was still in the cylinder, so that's a bucket and a break for Western.
Now Williams up to 12 points. Lovin driving.
Taven Lovin so strong off the dribble. You know he's not going to take a lot of three-pointers. He's going to put it on the deck, but it's hard to get in the way of that freight train when it's on the tracks.
There's a whistle and a foul on UAB. It goes on Jordan Brinson as they continue to go to that bench, which has been so good this season, including tonight.
And conversely, Western doesn't have much of a bench. We got Justice, who came into the game for Hollingsworth, and now he's got it right there, number 5. But you mentioned he's got a bad back. He had ice on his back in the early part of this half.
And way off on that three-point attempt. He's just not right.
And you can tell, and I don't know if we'll see him anymore the rest of the night.
Well, Western Kentucky hanging in, only down 7. Well, it's divisional round weekend in the National Football League, and a former Western Kentucky basketball star has a big game. George Fant, offensive lineman for the Seahawks, getting ready to play in Green Bay.
How about that? And I remember I did a few games for them when he was a Western Kentucky hilltopper on the hardwood. Take a look at him in action, number 44 there. A little bit bigger today than he was back then. Played at about 245. I think he's about 315 now. Man, was he a good basketball player for them a few years ago. And it's amazing. Most people would say he's a better basketball player than football, but yet he's an NFL football player today.
And we got a player in the game right now with the basketball right now who played baseball. That would be Antonio Relat, number 25 for UAB. Backup point guard, 4 seasons on the UAB baseball team. This is his first season playing basketball, his first and only season. Butler walked inside. I don't know if he stepped on somebody's shoe or what, kind of lost his balance and fell backwards.
And I'm not sure if he was fouled first. And Robert Eason thinks he was fouled. That's for sure. He may be a little biased though.
Whistle away from the ball. We haven't had a lot of foul calls in this game. Only player in any kind of foul trouble is Jordan Rawls for Western Kentucky with 3 fouls. And very few stoppages. It's been a pretty clean game. Williams taking it in on Butler. Again, the shot clock rolls under 10. Hollingsworth playing some one-on-one against Relat. Savage the offensive board, and he gets to the free throw line.
And I got to tell you, Relat did a great job guarding the dribble right there, because I tell you what, Tavion Hollingsworth threw a billion moves at him, and he could not get around him. Made him take a tough one. Savage there for the rebound and the foul. He'll get some free ones here. But a great job by the baseball player moving those feet.
Savage, the best free throw shooter on this team. He's 26 for 28 this season.
How about that? He's missed 2 free throws the whole year. He has been solid. Not the guy you want to foul if you're UAB right now. They're able to set that 1-2-2 up. Josh Anderson, yeah, I guess now they're in the 2-3. So they've mixed it up in what they've gotten into.
They forgot about Kasim Nicholson.
Well, that was the soft part of the zone. And now a steal at the other end. That's good defense by Brinson.
Now a stoppage in action. And Coach Eson was like, come on, what are you stopping it for? We had,
he had a break.
Transition buckets.
Yeah. Those breaks are hard to come by. And the bench production, as we talked about, has been terrific again for UAB. 20 points off the bench compared to 0 for Western Kentucky. But again, they don't have a lot of guys playing off the bench tonight.
Offensive foul, a late signal. All we had was a whistle, and then finally an offensive foul signal as Nicholson ran right through Jared Savage.
It's the right call, though. But the fans want that call right away, and really, more importantly, they want it to go the other way.
Hollingsworth was left alone and takes advantage of it.
But that's just his ability to go off the dribble and got everybody to back up, and that reverse pivot that you see Villanova use a lot when they get 2 feet in the paint, able to knock it down.
What do you think of that whistle? Josh Anderson certainly can't believe it.
It was the right call, though, because Nicholson got hammered. Both his hands were hit. Now, they did get a lot of ball, but they hit his arms. See, I mean, you can see Josh Anderson's arm in the middle of Nicholson's forearm. Not many players are going to be able to hold on to the ball in that circumstance.
Relat, the spin,
Nice
the bounce,
pass.
and Butler missed it. And Hollingsworth got pushed, and it'll be free throws. 1-1 the rest of the way. That's the 7th team foul. Beg your pardon, they just adjusted it on the scoreboard.
Take a look at Ralat. Great delivery, a great assist, but no! A lid on the bucket is Butler. Not able to convert, and then they add insult to injury with the foul.
Yeah, I was right the first time. It was the 7th team foul, so 1-1 here, and Hollingsworth will get another free throw. He's also a great free throw shooter, 6th in the conference, 83% on the season.
Collectively, Western's a good free throw shooting team, shooting 78%. One of the tops in the country in that department.
Well, they'll be shooting the rest of the way, and free throws were the bugaboo of the UAB Blazers at Old Dominion. They lost by 6, and in that game, they were 5 for 15 for the free throw line.
That is brutal. And this 5 that you see for Western Kentucky will probably be the 5 you see for Western Kentucky the remainder of this game. I doubt we'll see Justice with that bad back or anyone else off that bench. And now they get the deflection. Look for a lob.
Hollingsworth to Anderson, who throws it down. It's a 1-point game.
That was a bank heist pulled off by Jesse and Frank James.
UAB led by as many as 13 earlier in this half. And the undermanned Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are within 1. Lovin gets bailed out. Foul call. And 2 shots coming. They say it's in the act of shooting. So Taven Lovin, who was 1 for 4 from the free throw line last game, gets 2 shots. And a technical foul on Jordan Rawls, who was right next to the official.
Wow.
Said something he didn't like. And that's the 2nd technical on Western Kentucky. Hollingsworth got teed up earlier in the half. That cost him 2 points.
You're right, it's costly. It's just too costly to hurt your team this way, especially when you're battling back, trying to overcome a deficit. You've overcome the mountain a couple of times, and your mouth gets you in trouble. It's very unfortunate for Western. They're giving up free points. That's 4 free points now given up in a ball game that they only trail by 2.
And Benjamin pretty much automatic at the free throw line, over 85% this season, leads the team, and he's made all 4 technical free throws tonight. Now 2 more free throws for Taven Lovin, who was fouled before that technical foul. Could be a 4-point possession for UAB when they were only up 1.
4 free points, most importantly, and 2 of those points didn't have to happen.
And if you're Rick Stansbury, there's really nothing. You can't take Rawls out of the game. You've got nobody else to put in.
Yeah, and you better hope that they don't get a second technical on Rawls or Hollingsworth, because they both have 1. The second, you're a DQ. He doesn't have many bodies to put in.
Also important to note, that technical foul is the 4th personal foul on Rawls.
Great point.
So the next one, and he's gone, and that will force somebody from that bench to come into this game.
Or he might just go with 4 at this point, huh?
Now a 4-point possession on 4 free throws for UAB. Williams misses.
Nice power move, but the height and length of Maktar Gay able to change that shot.
Just when it looked like Western Kentucky was going to get over the hump.
Yep. They had the momentum. They had cut it to 1. It took the air out of the building, and that 4 points on free throws cost them dearly.
Great rebound by Kasim Nicholson, and he draws a foul as well.
Kasim Nicholson has done a lot of little things. You think about in transition, that great cut where he got a layup. He's gotten a couple of offensive rebounds for them, loose balls. He's done a lot of little things, that what we call winning plays.
You see the miss from Gay, and Nicholson got inside position on Hollingsworth. Now he thought he was going to get some free throws, but
I did too, honestly.
he was not in the act of shooting. 6th team foul. They will be shooting the rest of the way. Brinson left his feet. Shot clock to 10. Benjamin thought about launching a deep three. Lovin will launch a deep three. Way off the mark. Not a good possession.
Yeah, it was an ill-advised shot. Taven Lovin, that's not his game.
Hollingsworth in on Benjamin. No whistle. Benjamin got run over.
There definitely was a collision. The question is, was it enough for a foul? I think it was.
I think it was. I don't know which way it should have gone.
Probably should have had a whistle there.
But we probably should have had a whistle. Yep. Correct. This is like old 1980s Big Ten basketball out
Big
here.
Ten, Big East, yeah. It's brutal.
3-point game, and that one goes out of bounds off of Western Kentucky. Shot clock at 11. Check out the collision. Hollingsworth's like, okay, no, okay.
They
no
need
foul.
to exchange insurance cards on that kind of a collision, right? Let me get your insurance information.
That wasn't just a fender bender. Some real damage. 3:16 to go. UAB only up 3. In for a good finish here in Birmingham. Setting up for a good finish. Add those ones together and you get 3. A 3-point deficit for UAB. Young man, our fan of the game. Shouldn't say a 3-point deficit for Western Kentucky, as UAB has led for all but 3 minutes in this game, and the magic number is 60 for UAB. 7-0 when they get there, and they are there.
It makes perfect sense as they're only giving up 60 points a game.
They've got the ball, shot clock at 10. Clearly, Robert Eson drew something up that he liked. I don't know if they're executing it very well, though. Will Butler at the buzzer gets it to go.
Big shot. The Butler did it.
Huge bucket with 3 minutes to go. Butler has 10.
Josh Anderson contested that shot. He did everything but block it. And Butler kind of threw that thing into the bucket.
Williams outside. That's a wide open look and way short on the 3. Williams unable to save it. Jordan Rawls was wide open.
And look at Will Butler here, a jump hook. Josh Anderson came over for help because he knew he had to shoot it and was up there in the air with him, but somehow Butler finds the bucket. Here comes the trap now. Great job of handling it. Now
Lovin!
Wow! Look out below.
Hollingsworth gets it blocked by Butler.
My goodness.
Taven Lovin wants another one. Here he comes. He's got it. And UAB's up 9. Timeout, Western Kentucky, and these fans love that.
That Electric.
I think it goes without saying, but this is our play of the game here on Stadium. Taven Lovin beating the press and beating the rim down.
I got one thing to say, Chris. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Oh, we're showing you every look we've got of it because it's so pretty. And I was impressed with this UAB team at shoot around, and Coach Eson in particular. Come in here, you never know what you're gonna see. You're gonna walk into it. A team that's 0-2 in conference play.
Yeah.
Dismissed their best player back in November in Bryant, and they were very upbeat. Eson all smiles. Took a long time to speak with us, and we know how much he thinks of Taven Lovin, the sophomore, who, as a true freshman, he looked like a senior. I mean, he's a man.
Yeah, both in body and in decision making. He is terrific.
Extra pass, Savage. Can't get that three to go, and UAB.
But what did we talk about, though, Chris, at the beginning of this game? Fatigue was going to be a factor. You're starting to see a lot of short shots coming from the boys in black, and they have logged a ton of minutes. Rawls has not left the floor. He's played all 38. Savage 33, Anderson 33, and Anderson only averages 24 minutes a game.
Benjamin wants a backbreaker. Instead, he throws it away, and Josh Anderson turns it over. Tried to bounce it to Savage, and they just weren't in a good position for a bounce pass there.
When you're fatigued, you make poor decisions too. And that was a poor decision, just a poor execution of the pass. And these guys are gassed in black right now. And they're having to spend extra energy on defense, which certainly doesn't help.
And Benjamin will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. He's 4 for 4 at the line tonight. All 4 of those technical foul free throws, and how big are those now? They got it to 1. Western Kentucky cut it to 1 and then committed their second technical foul for saying something to an official.
Right, it wasn't even demonstrative. There wasn't even a tantrum. It was just simply talking to the officials, and they said something that warranted a technical foul. I'm going to give the officials the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what was said, but they're not going to just give you a tech for blowing warm and fuzzies, right? So he must have said something. And so because of that, to me, those 2 incidents, you give up 4 free points. It really is a difference in this ball game, plus the fact that you don't have a lot of reserves.
Well, you had that 4-point possession. It was a 1-point game. You had the technical foul, free throws, and they also committed a foul on that possession. And then you had the Lovin dunk, and then the Lovin lay-in. And that's the difference. With under a minute to go, UAB is up by 11. It's an 11-point game. Should be 68-57, UAB. They're on an 8-0 run since that second technical foul.
Their largest lead of the day was 13, so we're approaching that. But again, you have to give credit to Robert Eson's group, though. You talked about how positive they were coming into this game, but the sky wasn't exactly falling. They had won 5 in a row before, in their opinion, giving away 2 road games at Old Dominion and Charlotte. So in their minds, they just need to come back here and get better again by getting a win at home against a shorthanded Western team. And they went out there and they took care of business tonight.
Hollingsworth cuts it to 10, 53 seconds to go. I mean, you got to wonder about Rick Stansbury in the first half. With such a short rotation, 5, 6 players,
right?
I don't know that he's going to be able to show that full court pressure that much in the coming games if the rotation, if he can't find somebody from the Matt Hortons of the world, the Isaiah Cozarts of the world to come in and give him some minutes.
And Gambrell, he's going to need minutes, quality minutes though, from Jeremiah Gambrell and Matt Horton, in my opinion. Those are the 2 guys. But again, if you get Cameron Justice back, and we mentioned his bad back, that's going to be something that's going to nag you. That doesn't heal overnight, right? So you may be without Cameron Justice in terms of being able to give you valuable minutes, at least for the foreseeable future. So you're right, Chris. You hit the nail on the head. One of those other guys is going to have to try to give them minutes, because you can't keep logging 38, 40 minutes a game for these guys. They're just going to run out of gas, both within the game and, of course, throughout the course of the season.
Or here in Birmingham, just down the road, Tuscaloosa, this time of year, they're still in football mode. I mean, they're upset Alabama's not in the national championship game. I'm sure there's Auburn fans here as well. Auburn has been to the national championship game. It's a huge weekend of football.
Auburn's a basketball school now, right? With Bruce Pearl getting them to the Final Four last year. Yeah.
Great start to this season. As Mac Targay puts it in. You got the division round of the NFL this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and then the national championship game on Monday. As Hollingsworth hits the three with 42 seconds to go.
Little too late, though.
Benjamin hits the floor. And a timeout is granted.
Great timeout. But great hustle by Brinson to come and bail out Benjamin, who was certainly going to commit a turnover there at the worst. At the least, I should say, a 10-second call.
All right, Tim, I know you're a football guy as well. Who you got in the national championship game? LSU and Clemson.
You know, Clemson's the defending champs. They've got a 29-game winning streak, but I think that streak has to end this weekend. I got LSU, as you see on the screen.
I like Clemson to cover. I don't know if they'll win, but I wouldn't be surprised.
So Clemson +4, right? Is that what it is?
Clemson plus the 4. You know what? If you got 29-game winning streak, you got Trevor Lawrence. If you're going to give me more than a field goal,
yeah,
I'm taking it.
I agree, and I'm not a betting man, but I would take that. I think it's going to be close, but you know, when Joe Burrow threw the 7 first-half touchdowns, that kind of made everybody's head turn around, you know? So I don't think they'll be able to do that to Clemson, though.
Shot clock still on. There's about a 11-second difference. And Butler is fouled, so he'll go to the line for a 1-and-1. You mentioned that we'll be here for the Saturday game. UAB hosting Marshall, 3 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Stadium. Marshall coming off a win tonight against Middle Tennessee. They'll be 2-1 in conference play. And UAB will be coming off its first win. As for Western Kentucky, they go to Middle Tennessee Saturday night, 6 Eastern time.
And that's a short turnaround for a bunch of guys who logged a whole lot of minutes here tonight. You got to hope, if you're a Western fan, that Justice gets well soon, because they're going to need him. Not a lot of quality bodies with which to work.
Jared Savage had the hot hand early, hit 3 consecutive threes in the first half. Western had a 5-point lead, but UAB grabbed the lead and never gave it up. The Hilltoppers got within 1 late in the second half, then committed a technical foul, and it's been all UAB since. And Robert Eson very happy with his first conference victory of the season. They get home, they get right. Now they're feeling good heading into Saturday's game against Marshall. So he has a word with Cameron Justice, who his back starts feeling better. Did not start in this game and didn't play much at all, and when he did, we could tell he was just not right. So Western Kentucky falls from the ranks of the unbeaten in Conference USA. They're not the only team. We had at least one other team tonight that was 2-0 fall. Louisiana Tech lost.
Yep.
And Florida International lost as well.
Yeah, that's going to be life on the road in this conference. There's no clear-cut favorite anymore with Charles Bassey leaving this Western Kentucky team, who were the head and shoulders above everyone else. But without him, they are quite mortal and quite beatable. And if they don't get some help in terms of Justice getting his back in place, or getting some help from those guys deeper on the bench, and hey, he may have to do like Robert Eson, go to the baseball team and see if you can find someone. But they need some help, and they need it fast.
Well, Western Kentucky was one of 6 2-0 teams in conference play to begin the night. Now there's only 3 unbeaten in Conference USA as UAB gets the win. We're coming right back. Back here in Birmingham, where the fans are leaving happy tonight as UAB knocks off Western Kentucky 72-62. UAB led for basically the entire game, all but 3 minutes in this one. They led by as many as 13, had their lead cut to 1 late in this game, but a couple of technical fouls doomed Western Kentucky. Our player of the game is the man who capitalized on those technical fouls. Jalen Benjamin, the true freshman, hit all 4 technical free throws. He finished with 16 points.
Leave it to a guy named Benjamin to be cash money from downtown. He was terrific tonight. Again, a score-first point guard, not a big distributor, just 2 assists. He did have 6 rebounds, but those 16 points were big. He was able to get himself to the rim and knock it down from downtown. A good win at home for the Blazers.
4 of the 2-0 teams in Conference USA play were in action tonight, including Western Kentucky. Only one of those teams remained unbeaten.
Yeah,
FAU.
I just think that's the way it's going to be this year. And remember, only 12 of the 14 teams get to play in the Conference USA postseason tournament. So this is going to be quite a season in terms of parity. There's going to be a lot of losses, and it's going to be tough. Life is going to be tough on the road, even for the upper tier teams.
Well, Marshall got a victory tonight. They come in here on Saturday. We are going to be here for that one as UAB will try to get a little winning streak going. Marshall coming in 2-1 in conference play. UAB now 1-2. Very impressed with UAB tonight, the way that they kept their composure, unlike Western Kentucky, and they're just so balanced and deep as well.
If they can find points, they're going to beat a lot of people. And that's a big if, though. Tonight they got a lot of contributions. But when you play home, the guys who don't give you a lot on the road sometimes give you a little bit more. So you have the 7th, 8th, 9th guy scoring points for you, where normally they may only get 1 or 2 buckets on the road collectively. So you get a little bit of that home cooking. But it's nice to be home if you're UAB. You got another tough one on Saturday. It would be nice if they could sweep it. But this Marshall team, Dan D'Antoni, once again, his system, that D'Antoni system that people run in the NBA, and certainly they do at Marshall, is awfully difficult to guard. But one of the best defensive teams in the nation plays right here in Birmingham. So it should be another good matchup on Saturday.
All right. Well, UAB gets one in the win column in conference play for the first time this season. A 10-point victory over Western Kentucky. The preseason favorites to win Conference USA. They lost Charles Bassey earlier this season, and they're not the same team right now. That's for darn sure. For my broadcast partner, Tim Scarborough, I'm Chris Hassel saying good night from Birmingham. Final score 72-62 UAB. For more live games, replays, and classic games and daily original studio programming, visit watchstadium.com.